right, let's actually get into some of the graphics and topics that I pulled up here. We're going to go over to Haason Reddick. And clearly, this is the contract we're looking at right now. I'll pull this part down and we'll look at the audio of what Haason Reddick said at the time he was traded to the New York Jets, just so we can all hear it in his own words.
How do you look at it? Is it you're on the last year of your contract? You said, it's a business. Is this a place you hope is a long-term home? Are you looking at this like a one-year situation, or do you believe there's a chance you guys could get an extension done?
All options are open. Right now, currently just worried about being here, meeting everybody that's in the building today. Contractual stuff, I'm leaving that up to my agent and Joe to figure out. But whatever happens, I'm going to be happy for. I'm going to give my all, no matter what. That's just who I am as a person. So no matter how it goes, how many years, I'm going to be here for however long I'm here for, and I'm going to give the team, the fans, everything that I have.
That was a lie. The old Maury meme. One thing I do want to point out, don't know how critical it is or not, Haason Reddick, Bryce Huff, and Joe Douglas all are represented by the same talent agency, CAA Football. Now, they all do have different agents, so those agents are going to be operating in a way that gets them the most money, but since they're within the same agency, you got to think there's some type of collusion going on anyway. And maybe there's a little behind the scenes of, hey, Douglas is going to bend the knee, don't you worry, just, this is what we know about him from all these other, situations. I don't think that's the case. I would tend to think his agents probably said, look, you probably don't want to hold out. Reddick's probably feeling a little bit of a way and just making a bad decision, or took some advice from someone that's not very smart. Green Bean, I'll throw it to you first. What are your thoughts on Haason Reddick's comments right here? And do you think there's any conflict with all these guys sharing the same talent agency?
Well, it reminds me of Elijah Moore. Remember Elijah Moore saying, it doesn't matter if I get 0 catches as long as we win and all that kind of stuff. And then it was a whole different thing when he was getting 0 catches. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's much to do. It's definitely not true. But these guys, they've been prepped on how to answer questions their whole career. They, so we call things like a coach speak or, team speak and all that kind of stuff. He said all the right things, hoping that it would go his way. It didn't go the way that he wanted to. And we are where we are. I think it's much to do with nothing. I mean, it's like whenever we make big deals about, what Saleh says in a speech or, a press conference or whatever. I think it's all just, I don't know. I don't make much out of it. It's definitely conflicting and it's aggravating and all that kind of stuff. But you'd love to believe that what he said there is just like, yeah, I'm going to let it work itself out, but I'm going to make sure that I'm playing. He is getting 15 or just about $15 million for the year. So it's probably worth playing for. I mean, I would say, 15 million is not so bad of a salary for a year, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't make much out of it. Whenever they say anything, I think they say the right things, because they're prepped to say the right things. So it just is what it is, in my opinion.
Crossfire says, honestly, I see him folding first. He knows at this point he effed up and will have to put out a statement trying to backpedal. Yeah, it's a little bit of a battle of attrition. Like which side folds first, which one actually wants to. I think both sides are going to have to give a little bit, but man, this is going to be rough. I feel like if I was Douglas, I would say, look, I'll guarantee you your salary as long as you are on the field playing. If you're going to pull this half-ass bullshit and we're going to have to bench your ass because you're not playing up to snuff, you're not getting paid. Like, that's the kind of contract I want to have worked out with Reddick if he's going to come back in and have it incentive laden. Matt, what were your thoughts on Reddick's comments initially, and how do you feel about them now?
Yeah, I agree. The coach's cliche, like Robert Saleh's, his go-to buzzwords when he goes up there and speaks at the press conference, like the player at the time is going to say all the right things, and like it's annoying. I think it's annoying that Haason Reddick has seemingly gone back on his word a little bit. Again, like I don't think though I could put 100% of the blame on Haason Reddick in this situation. I think we're probably pretty close to an even split between Reddick, Joe Douglas, and Woody Johnson. I think you have to toss him in the mix too, because he's the one who okays if guys can get paid or not. So it's just at this point it's boiled over to an ugly, frustrating situation. And I think it's just better for all these sides for something to get done and for him to come in the building. Whatever that something gets done means, whether it's redoing the contract for this year or adding on an additional year. I'm not saying 4 or 5 year mega deal here, but I just think it's better for all parties. As you said, they're repped by the same agency. Right now, it's a bad look for both. I think it's a bad look for both Haason Reddick and the Jets, frankly, right now. So I think it's in everyone's best interest to kind of just squash the beef, so to speak, and get this thing done.
What's up, guys? Matt O'Leary from Talkin' Jets. If you liked that video, please make sure to subscribe and follow for more New York Jets content.